The insanely fun Sonic 2 is where things really started to shape up. The physics of the original were still there, but the level layouts were a bit bigger and more clean and refined, as all future games should be to those that precede them. It was certainly faster than the first. A couple stages really did exist just to emphasize the speed. But the speed didn't take over the game to a point where the speed became all it was. There were a lot more ramps and speed boosters and loop-de-loops than were there before, but while there was more speed, there was still a very healthy amount of platforming, and the two complemented each other beautifully. Hell, in order to use a spin dash, you needed to spare a few seconds to charge it up before the quick burst got you going. Some things were automated here and there. All Sonic games have some automated sections, but the designers still did a great job. The level designs had a lot of thought put into them, and many of the new obstacles required the player to interact with them and trigger their function, rather than simply touching them. There were many more zones than before. Sure, most of them only had 2 acts, while Sonic 1 had 3 acts per stage, but this game had much more variety. I mean, what sounds better? 3 zones each with 6 acts, or 9 zones with 2 acts? One thing that just drives most gamers crazy is the inclusion of Miles Prower, also known as Tails. He follows you around and reaches rings that you might not, which is helpful, and he also helps you kill bosses twice as fast. But in the special stages, he's so stupid. See, when he tags along, he collects the rings that aren't added to yours. His rings are kept separate in his own little box, so whenever he gets hit, you lose rings that could have helped you. I have most of the Genesis games on collections, and in this format, there is not an option to go it solo, which is such a pain. Because of this, even though I have managed to collect the Chaos Emeralds and Time Stones in all the other games, I have yet to collect them in Sonic 2 because Tails keeps tripping over himself. I still love the little guy, but dang, keep your tails to yourself. Aside from that though, just about everything in this game is polished and well executed. In fact, some think this is the best Sonic game because the speed and platforming were so well balanced. I don't, but it's still pretty awesome. Sonic's sprite was changed a little bit and given a fresh new shade of blue, making him a lot easier on the eye and more eye-poppingly fun. It's a little thing, but every little thing helps. There was also a lot of great music. Most of these tracks are slick and easygoing considering what they had to work with. The later ones grew more epic, and there were a lot more songs than there were in the first game. If this game has a theme, it would be that everything is eventually replaced, no matter how precious it may seem. Robotnik is replacing the cute little woodland critters of the world with his horrible metal monsters. He's replacing Sonic with yet another robot. He's replacing the world with his death egg. And hell, he even made a giant mech that looks like himself. In the end, though, he loses again because Sonic is awesome. Yet another very cool game. Next time I'll talk about Sonic 3K. Toodles!